Hello, friends. I just wanted to jump on here for a few minutes with a message that I feel needs to be conveyed, mainly for my own sanity and peace of mind. My journey has taken me from a fool lost in the matrix mind maze to someone that has gained a pretty good understanding of my own spiritual path, my spiritual beliefs, and a sense of peace by gaining knowledge about my life game. The most important piece of information so far for me is the answer to everything I could ever really need to know, and in my perspective, is the big answer. So far, I have not found any other explanation for this existence that can really come close when you take a bigger picture look at everything. It's something I can say with 100% certainty about this existence. Love. That love is always the answer, and some of you may be tuning out as we speak, but let me elaborate a little bit. I grew up Catholic, attended Mass every Sunday, and was very quickly scared out of religion in general, mainly because of all the war, murder, eternity in hell, vengeful God dogma that the church would have us believe in. It wasn't until my awakening in the past decade that I realized that there are actually very profound answers within the Bible, as well as many religious texts, in particular, the teachings of Jesus Christ. Now alone, these teachings are pretty straightforward and simple to understand and follow, but with the extreme contradictions from the same book, Old Testament, I can understand why people dismiss the teachings of Jesus Christ. Did that God have a change of heart? Smiting, murder, pedophilia, animal sacrifice are just not cool anymore. He's no longer a psychopath. I can only speak for myself, but until I understood the purpose of the teachings of JC and the undeniable truth within it, I was spiritually lost. Now, I am in no way a religious person, nor do I identify as being part of any religious group. But I do follow the teachings of JC and do my best to live in that way. I honestly couldn't tell you if Jesus was a real person or an archetype. But to me, it really doesn't matter because in my perspective, these teachings are all we really need to know. They are the key to exiting the matrix. To me, the only way we should really be living our lives. Even if you don't acknowledge Christ or even Christ consciousness, those teachings should be applied in our lives, in my humble opinion. That being said, it seems that we still have a long way to go before most people understands the importance of living that way. Half the country hates the other half right now because of political ideologies. For too many, it's still okay to go to war with other countries and hate others based on race, religion, political beliefs, or social standing. There are still way too many that are blindly following orders from authority figures because they don't want to lose their job, social standing, or even just be seen in a different light by others. There are way too many greedy, selfish people that will do anything to stay that way. There are way too many that harm or allow harm to children. And there are far too many that forgot what love is and take friends, family, and loved ones for granted. This is a ridiculous example, but I saw a story earlier about one of those chicks that bangs 1,000 dudes in one day and films it for the whole world to see. That's at least 1,001 people that are so lost that they would display the worst in human behavior for the entire world. And I'm not talking about sex being the worst in human behavior, not at all. I mean being willing to either have 1,000 dicks in a day or put your dick in something that has had 1,000 dicks in it in one day. To me, it's absolutely insane. And this is, like I said, just one ridiculous example of how we need to do better. Really take a look at your fellow humans right now and ask yourself, are we really okay? To me, it's really just as simple as loving thy neighbor as a foundation for human behavior. If we truly love something, we don't treat it like shit and destroy it. This is just my personal perspective on things, but please let me know how you see things, because I know that there are so many amazing people doing wonderful things for humanity right now, and I'd love to hear more about that. Hopefully, this rant may help you as much as it did me. So I appreciate you all listening, and we will talk again later today.